Hey guys, welcome back to SEADOGS Can Fly. This is episode 35 and we are halfway through season 7. We're in January and we spent massive, 133 million to be precise, so we're going to look at those players in just a second. But I've also sold a couple of icons from the club, that's right. A few of the class of 2020 have left and the fans are not happy. But it's all very important for the bigger picture and the long-term goals that we've got in place. Today you're going to get to see two livecom games at home to Norwich and at home to Fulham. And the season's going very well indeed. We'll catch up on all that in just a second, but for now, let's roll the intro.
12 years in that division and they're out.
Right boys, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified of new episodes as and when they go live. We're getting lots of guides now on the channel, so I wouldn't want you missing out. And if you do enjoy this episode, I'd much appreciate a thumbs up and a like. That'd really help the channel. Okay, we're going to jump into the transfers in just a second. That 133 million definitely needs some explanation because it's a lot of cash. But first of all, let's get you caught up with where we are in the season. So we've played through a bit more than 2 months worth of games. Last time we left off, we beat Chelsea 2-0. That was the first time you got to see the 4-5-1 in action. We played really well. Chelsea had such a better team than we did, so great to come away with the victory. We followed that up with a 3-2 loss against Feyenoord, though, away from home in the Europa League. They were playing 2 DMCs. I was stubborn, stuck with Concerto, hence why we ended up losing the game. A little bit silly there. We also lost 5-1 against Leipzig, despite playing the 4-5-1. That was a little bit of a concern, and one of the catalysts really for me spending so much money in January, because I just feel like we don't have enough quality when we come up against big teams. However, we did beat Arsenal 4-0 away from home. This was an exceptional result, 18 shots, 8 of which were on target. Monroe scoring a couple, Alvarado with one hell of a counter-attacking goal, and Angel Gomez scoring off the bench. This was notable because we had 4 clear-cut chances and 6 half chances, restricting Arsenal to just the 1 clear-cut chance all game. So really dominating performance. They only had 3 shots on target. I think the 4-5-1 could really do us well in games like that where we don't need to commit as many bodies forward. Tottenham next, we drew 1-1 before we went and beat Crystal Palace 2-0 away from home and then beat Brighton 5-4 away from home. This was such a thrilling game. We went 4-1 up at one point and almost threw it away but came away victors. Gary Bowden was sensational, scoring with a volley, scoring from quite far out. He had such a mixed bag of goals, even banging one in with his head, and Keith de Jong got on the score sheet there as well. Bowden has been utilised up top alongside either Saltella or Monroe. And he's done really well. He scored 10 goals this season, got 3 assists. Ever since we switched to using advanced forwards, he's come to life. Manchester City at home next, and we won this one 1-0. Alonso, Alvarado doing the bizzo again. We only had 4 shots on target in this game. We were playing the 4-5-1, but that cover from De Jong as the halfback worked really well for the defence. Man City, while they had 9 shots on target, never really looked like scoring, so I was happy with the results. Real Sociedad were beaten 5-2 at home. That was an easy game in the Europa League, which sent us through to the next round. Leipzig topped the group with such a superior goal difference, but I was just happy to qualify, to be honest. Bournemouth up next, 6-2 away victory. Again, Gary Bowden, so clinical. We were ruthless in this game. Every opportunity we had, we took. Jorge Grasso scoring, as well as 2 for Monroe as well. So that's 5 goals in 1 game for the strike partnership. These two are linking up so well. And what was more pleasing as well is the fact we had 6 clear-cut chances and 4 half chances. We really are creating opportunities with the advanced forwards now in this system. Bournemouth had 3 clear-cut and 4 half chances themselves, so that's a bit worrying, but at least we came away with the points. Bristol City played 2 DMCs again. We struggle against that, even with the 4-5-1. It's such a hard system to break down. I'm going to have to get over that going forward. In all likelihood, we'll end up with better players, so it won't matter. West Ham up next, we beat them 3-1. This was a real easy victory. Grasso scoring alongside Monroe, and Angel Gomez scoring late on. Leeds was 2-2. Struggled to get the away point there, but still decent point, I guess. Watford, we beat them 2-1 away from home. Alonso, Alvarado scoring yet again. Monroe up front alongside Bowden getting on the score sheet. So a really great result there before we came up against Guiseley in the FA Cup and won away from home 3-1. But where does that leave us in the league? Top of the table. Unbelievably, After Christmas, on 21 games, we've got 50 points. Win our game in hand, we can be 5 points clear of Manchester United, maybe even further by the time we got through these 2 livecom games today. Amazing performance to get there. Munro's been exceptional, but to be honest, the whole team's done well. Defensively, we are very shaky. Issues at the back for sure, which I've tried to address in the January transfer window, which you're going to see in just a second. But first of all, look at these fixtures we've got in the last 3 months of the season. City away, Tottenham away, Arsenal at home. Following month we have Chelsea away, Newcastle away, and we finished with Leicester, Liverpool and United. That right there is what will stop us winning the title for sure. I cannot see us doing it, to be honest. It's whether we can get the top 4. We're already almost 10 points clear, so fingers crossed we may be able to get Champions League football, which would be a dream for our first season. On to the transfers. We'll start with the outs. Now, we've lost some real icons, I'm afraid. The class of 2020 has been dispersed. First of all, Angel Gomez went. He went for just shy of 6 million. Was never going to be first team quality, so we got rid. Trond Martin Saltella for 19 million went to Swansea. I was really having to think about this deal, but he just lacks the physicals and his finishing needs. Well, there's too many areas that need work for him to be a effective advanced forward. Not to mention he wouldn't really work the way I want him to from the wings as a backup. Jonathan Warburton, another one from the class of 2020. He's never going to cut it in the Premier League for me, so we've sold him to Nottingham Forest for 10 million. The fans were not happy about that one, but it's this next one that uproared the whole club. The players revolted, the fans kicked off. Thankfully I managed to calm it all down a little bit, but it's Ryan Williams. To be honest, I'm gutted to see him go. I love this kid. It was so good for us. Ended up scoring 118 goals out of his 209 starts in the league alone. That'll be way higher with the cup games, but 20 million came in from Brescia, who were in Serie B, so I couldn't really turn it down, knowing the players I had lined up to sign. Now let's begin with a player who we need to get a work permit for at some point, Luis Mejia. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and we desperately need someone who works hard and can do the dirty stuff, as well as with a bit of physicality, get forward. He's an all-rounder, precisely what I need. I just have to get him that work permit. We're struggling to send him out on loan at the moment, so I don't know how quickly it's going to happen, but he's worth the investment. The next one on a surprisingly small fee is also in central midfield, and that's Mariba. You'll all know him. He's a wonder kid, an amazing player in the game, such an all-round midfielder as well at that. Barcelona had him out on loan at the time I made my bid. I offered straight up 8.5 million and accepted. I couldn't believe it, so we got that deal over the line. He's going to be my advanced playmaker, but he could also do the box-to-box midfielder role if I need him to. Now with Williams, Saltella and Gomez going, all because they're subpar, I decided to get a 16-year-old kid called Belkahat. He is French, joined I believe from Toulouse, and we paid 32.5 million. Massive sum of money for such a young kid, but hear me out. Remember, my system needs speed and raw physicality. Also, we like my strikers to be able to finish, dribble with the ball and create their own opportunities. I also like them to be able to double up on the wing to cut inside. He can do everything. Acceleration, pace, agility, balance. He's reasonable with his mental stats. They'll only go up. 15 for off the ball movement, can't be understated at only 16, as well as 14 for finishing, 15 for dribbling, 16 technique. This kid has everything I need, and he's fairly professional. So I think he's going to be top draw, Thierry Henry-esque. The next one was for 40 million. That's Andre Argesea. He is on the left wing, came from Atletico Madrid, and again 18 years old, so probably a bit of a risky signing, massive fee, but he's got a cracking personality and I love his all-round ability. Look at that, 17 acceleration, agility, 16 pace, 15 balance. I love my physicals and players who can move with the ball. We need to increase that dribbling and his finishing ability, but that will easily be done. Everything else should naturally progress anyway, so I'm really excited about this kid. The last signing we made is Claudio Brignone. I touched on him in the last episode. We paid 49 million for this kid from Roma, hence the shirt. They are the Italian team I support, and we needed this kid. Centre back, 16 for technique, 17 tackling, 17 marking, 14 heading. He can pass, he's got vision, he works hard, he's aggressive, he's a team player, he's a leader. We're sending him out on a leadership course as well to only better that. He's composed, he concentrates, got a good balance, agility, 15 for jumping reach, 6'1", and he's fast. This kid is going to be the best defender dare I say it, in the entire game in only 2 or 3 years' time. He's a professional personality, and I don't think 50 million is a lot to pay for a player that is irreplaceable, and that is precisely what he is. Right, so on to the first livecom game, guys. This is against Norwich. We played them once already this season at Carrow Road. That was a 0-0 ball draw. Norwich should be playing a 4-2-3-1. We're going to stick with Concerto, and yeah, you're going to get to see Borden and Monroe up front in the advanced forward role for the first time, so that could be interesting, as well as Alvarado now cutting inside instead of playing Yusuga as a winger. We're going to have an advanced playmaker as Gut, because Mariba is out for 6 weeks after unfortunately knackering his wrist up. There are no other real absentees to speak of, to be fair. Grassel's going to start from the right, cutting inside. New signing Belka Hat's going to start from the bench. Agathea's going to start from the bench. Both not really quite ready for first team football. And the back line involves Brignone, the new centre-back. I put him on as ball-playing defender. We don't usually use that in this system, but he's that good on the ball. I feel like we need to give him a bit more time to pick out his passes. We are playing at home, or as at home we get, with it being the KCOM Stadium, so I'm expecting victory here. We really do need to get points on the board in these next 2 games, because with that tough 3 months we've got coming up at the end of the season, we are going to need every single point we can get. First highlight for Scarborough here. Alvarado nods the ball back to Malé, who crosses, and Monroe is on the end of it for his 17th of the season. Get in there. Come on, you SEADOGS. Highlight for Scarborough as Monroe's down the wing, gets his cross in, the ball falls to the left back Malé. We've got quite a few players forward here. Could be on for a counter in Norwich, and they are in behind. Well swept up by Lejeune, thankfully. Luan started a counter of our own. The box-to-box midfielder is Grasso, who cuts inside beautifully, finds Monroe, but Monroe can't finish. That was a pretty terrible shot, really. Norwich play the ball long. It's down to Zanini, who cuts inside. Good save by Lejeune. The Frenchman's doing reasonably well today. He can be a bit hot and cold, a bit inconsistent, but it's good to see he's had a couple of decent early saves. Good sign, good omen for the game, hopefully. And as the clock ticks down to half-time, guys, I'm going to demand more of the lads, because we've been a bit shite today. We've had a clear-cut chance and 3 half chances. Majority of the possession, but you can tell Norwich are playing quite a cautious system, and we are struggling to break them down, in all honesty. And they keep getting on with this bloody counter-attack. It's doing mine nutting. Zacchini in behind, cutting inside, and he finishes. Fuck's sake. 1-1. Games like this are so frustrating when we go and thrash Arsenal away from home 4-0. Right, half time, I'm telling the lads I'm disappointed. That has been shite. We really struggled against them at Carrow Road, and I do think it's them sitting back that caused that. Right, we're going to make some changes. First of all, we've got an injury to Alvarado, which is not ideal. So I'm going to actually get Yusuga on in the standard role we'd be using with this system. I'm also going to get Grasso off of Belkahat, and I also think we'll have Palm on for Borden, because he's not done a lot today, and he's an inconsistent player. We've seen it in his personality before. Ida down the right wing. Malé can't get the touch in, but God knows where all the Norwich forwards are, probably still defending. We're really playing a risky game here, and I can see this coming back at us if we're not careful. Ping pong. Come on, Gut. Oh, bad challenge that, but he rides it. Palm, Monroe. Get in there. 2-1. Got the lead back. Monroe the second of the game and 18th of the season. Belkahat picks it up off the bench. Nice little chip there to Palm. Lovely pass. Palm finds Suga, who is again off the bench, and that is a good save from Benitez. All the substitutes linking up really nicely there. That's the power of making substitutes on the 60th minute for me. I find it works really, really well. Omoragic's trying to build out from the back, and Cantwell's found in space with Ida on his own, but he's got support on either wing now. Chip forward to Emmy. Malé, oh my days. Delaney clears it. That was very nearly an equaliser for Norwich. Well, it's been a really frustrating game for us. We've been the better team, but Norwich's cautious mentality has definitely worked well for them. But Monroe's got him behind, and he scored his hat-trick of the game. Really clinical finishing. He's been fantastic today, and that gives us a 3-1 win and should see us wrap up all 3 points. We should be seeing this game out with ease now. 3-1 puts us 5 points clear at the top of the table, level on games with Manchester United, nicely into the Fulham game. Now, we've had 2 clear-cut chances in this game, 5 half chances. Norwich have had 3 clear-cut chances, so we've still got issues at the back that definitely need addressing. I obviously need another centre-back. Those two full-backs need to come on further. But I also think we need a new goalkeeper. I've said it before. I've had a look at a few options. But to be honest, we keep getting priced out of a move. Twisted knee for Alvarado. So he is probably going to miss the Fulham game, unfortunately, which is coming up next. Right, boys. Livecom game number 2. Fulham at home. They should be playing a 4-2-3-1. We've got no absentees other than Mariba, but we're going to be playing a weakened 11. I'll explain that in just a second. We've played them once before, beat them. To be honest, really expect to win this game. Similar to the Norwich game, they're going to be playing a cautious mentality, so we're going to see bodies behind the ball. Going to be something to watch out for. But we've got West Ham coming up in just a few days' time. That's away from home, a very important game that we could do with coming away with a victory if we're going to have any chance of challenging for the title this season, which is just Barney were even suggesting that. But yeah, a wholesale changes. Other than Bowden staying in, and he'll probably come off as a substitute, everyone else has changed. We've got the Argasea on the left as well as Sug on the right. Belkahat's going to make his full team debut. Tazar and Gale partnered in the middle with McCall, De Jong, Wardle and Zabe in the back. So it's going to be a real weakened team. Might backfire on us, but at the end of the day, titles aren't won by not taking risks. I'm quietly confident looking at the Fulham team. They've got the likes of Haller up front. He's not massively pacey, getting on a little bit, so I think that ball in behind from Fulham should not be an issue. Highlight for Fulham, long ball over the top, and Haller can't get in behind. As we said, he does like that pace. Quite an aerial threat, but De Jong deals with that easily. And Gale brings the ball out in the box-to-box midfielder role. Yusuga down the right. Can he cut inside? Well tackled by Berg, but he don't come away with the ball. And I think this could be chance over. It's worked back in though. Tezar out wide to McCall. McCall, the left back, skips past the challenge, swings one in, and Yusuga gets those extendable legs on the end of the cross to score his 4th of the season. Nice little link-up play there from the two players who don't get enough opportunities, really. Well, I think the chances tell the story so far. It's been the same with the Norwich game. We've had loads of half chances, but not very many clear-cut chances. None at all, as a matter of fact. And Fulham's efforts have all come from range. Again, without having a recognised striker that can get in behind, i.e. Haller's too slow, they're having to rely on quite a lot of long-range shooting. As we approach the half-time whistle on 43 minutes, Argasea does well to pick the ball up. Really good, hard-working midfielder. He's on the inside forward duty, so he's going to cut inside. He's dribbling for days, and I think he's won his penalty. He has won that on his own after winning the ball back in his own half. That is fantastic play from the Romanian. Who's taking the penalties? Tezar dispatches. The Czech has scored. That puts us 2-0 up and should hopefully mean we win this game. We'll bring the boys in at half time. We have 60% possession, and if you look at the stats, 1 clear-cut chance, 4 half chances, 9 shots on target. To be honest, Fulham have not had a sniff all game. We've never been under threat, and I'm going to make a couple of changes. So substitutions, guys. We've got Palm on up front. We also brought the Romanian left winger off. That's because of his knock. We've got Grasso on in his stead, and I think that's a goal. Yep, Belkayat has scored fantastically. I'm not sure whether that was an amazing little dinked finish or whether he actually got tackled and it ended up in the back of the net anyway. Let's have a quick look. Grasso with a fantastic ball over the top off the bench, and yeah, it just looks like a little bit of a scuff shot really, but we'll take it. The 16-year-old has scored his first goal, which is great to see. That completely threw me on what I was saying, guys, but it was the substitutions, wasn't it? Yes, we've got Luan on in the advanced playmaker role now. And I think we're back here again. Palm, another one of the subs, fluffs his opportunity. It's just that lack of speed that I think lets him down. He ends up in more pressured situations because he can't get on the end of an easy clear-cut chance. Lejeune starts the attack off, brings it to Wardle, works it out wide to Zabe, the right back. Wardle's picked it up again. Swings it wide to Grasso, who can definitely dribble. He's really good with these sort of opportunities. And nearly, if we can just get his shooting and finishing up, then he may well be such a threat from that right side. Berg to Blas. And we've put them under pressure. Bringing the ball forward is Palm. And he can't finish. Considering he's got 17 finishing and God knows how much for his composure, he doesn't show it. He really doesn't at times. Another attack for us though, well played by Palm. Belkhayat has, oh my god, how has he not scored off the bar? The 16-year-old almost got a brace. The game comes to an end, guys, and it's 30 shots, 15 on target, 4 clear-cut chances, 7 half chances. We should have bloody smashed Fulham there. But that puts us 5 points clear at the top of the table. We're on 35 goal difference, only 5 behind Manchester United. And considering how many goals we've been conceding, I think that's quite good personally. That brings to a close today's episode. We've got nothing else to talk about there. I'll just double check Argosay isn't out for ages. Nope, just a couple of weeks. Fantastic news. So we've done really well, guys. We're top of the table, fighting in Europe. We're also still in the FA Cup, so there's so much to play for. I'm not quite sure when we're going to come back. I'll probably only leave it maybe a month or so because we've got such a cracking little running of games there. We'll get through all this section here. And I'll get past the Trabzonspor games and we'll see what games we can pull out of the hat in these 3 months. It's going to be such a great end to the season, all to play for. Thank you for following. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button if you haven't done so already. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode, that'd be much appreciated, and I will catch you in the next episode very soon. Cheers, guys.